Hello there and welcome to today's video. It's called, Are You Shouting at Your Prospects? Are you shouting at your prospects? This is all about if you've been in a situation where you've been talking to a potential customer and you just can't seem to get on the same page as them. I mean, you try everything you can, but for whatever reason, they're just not paying any attention to you or that you can't seem to get them interested in what you're talking about. Now, if that's the case, if you can relate to that in any way, I mean, sometimes people are just darn rude, let's be honest, right? But there's also the fact that you may be talking to people, but sending the wrong darn messages. It's not the words that you're saying, but it's everything else, the non-verbal language that you're sending to them. This is quite powerful. And this could be the problem you've got, especially if someone is lacking in confidence or something like that. You could be sending messages that are really putting people off, okay? So I'm going to give you some ideas today, and yes, it's back to the body language thing in a way, but with a bit of a difference, all right? My name is Peter Beckenham, the village marketer, and as always, talking to you from my little Thai village way up near the Cambodian border. And no, I'm no body language expert, but I love the topic. I really do, and it's fascinated me for years, right? Okay, first thing, talking to these prospects and how the heck to get these people involved with you. First, smile. I know this sounds pretty old-fashioned, right? But a lot of people, they're so darn nervous and hung up, they're sort of, okay, boo, slow down, smile. That's the first thing you need to do. When you first make contact, if you're not smiling, then goodness gracious, you're off to a bad start, okay? And it doesn't cost you anything just to smile. But make sure the smile is genuine. In other words, smile with your mouth and with your eyes, not just with your mouth only, right? You've got to feel it inside that you are happy to see them. Even if you are a bit nervous about what you're trying to do, at least be happy about it, okay? And smile. Next one, in terms of eye contact, be careful. We all like to wear sunglasses, okay? And if it's a bright day and you're outside, you're not online, for example, and you've got sunglasses on, be careful with that, because that could lead to people distrusting you. If they can't see your eyes, okay, just because you got the dark glasses, the sunglasses on, okay, they could distrust you because they can't see them, okay? Be careful with that. Another one, if you don't look at people in the eye, okay, because you are a little bit anxious or nervous or stressed out or whatever it may be, if you're not looking them in the eye, then you are actually sending another pretty darn huge message, and that is you are lacking in confidence. And if you are lacking in confidence, why in the heck are they going to do business with you? They want to deal with somebody who can lead them along the track to solve their problem. But if they're dealing with someone who's lacking in confidence, okay, then that's probably the reason why they're not connecting with you, all right? So please look at them in the eye, but be careful with the eyes, all right? By all means, make contact with them in the eyes, but don't stare at them like this forever and a day, going like this. Don't do that. I mean, you'll look like a darn moron if you do that. And more important than that, you will truly turn them off, okay? They'll think, where did this guy come from, all right? Next, if they're staring at you constantly, right, really constantly, and not taking their eyes off you at all, then there's probably two options here. One, they could be angry as heck with you, right? Or secondly, maybe they're falling in love with you. Who knows? Good luck to you, right? But if they're constantly staring at you, that's an attention thing. You've got to be careful with that, all right? Next one. By the way, if you're staring at people, okay, and they're staring at you, then you're really shouting at each other, even though you're not saying any words. You actually are shouting at each other. Another thing with eye contact, in terms of getting in touch and getting your prospects to understand them and relate and engage with you, if you don't look at them for, I mean, if you look at them, say, for less than 50% of the time, okay, you look at them occasionally, but the rest of the time you're looking at your notes or whatever it may be, looking around, but you spend less than 50% of the time making eye contact with them, then the message you're sending them is that you are very insincere. Very insincere. Be careful. Doesn't matter what words you're saying, you're sending out a message of insincerity. And that's another reason why you might not be doing business with them, all right? Another one, Rapid blinking. We can't do this. Rapid blinking of your eyes. If they're rapidly blinking their eyes, I mean, think of politicians, right? If they're rapidly blinking their eyes, they're either, how would you say, there's a resistance to answer a question from a reporter or something, or from you, okay? Or they're lying, okay? Be careful. If there's a rapid blinking in their eyes in relation to a question you've asked, there could be the chance of them lying to you. No foolproof out there, but there could be a chance of that, all right? So that's enough about the eyes bit, right? But it's important because the eyes are, okay, the doorway to your soul. There's no doubt about that. Another thing in terms of when you're talking with people, and remember we're talking the non-verbal things here because that's the messages you're sending. Nod. If you nod 3 times to someone, then you're actually giving them a sense of understanding that you're listening to them and that you're actually wanting them to share more information with you. Rather than just standing there, sitting there or whatever it is, nod your head and show that you are actually listening and giving them feedback. All right? Another one, match them. You've all heard of the match and mirror thing, but let's break it down to simple things. Match things. With the handshake, if they, in fact, it's my granddaughter, thank you for that. With the handshake, if they, when you shake hands with them, if they shake hands very strongly and you've got a really soft, fishy-like handshake, then all of a sudden and immediately there's a disconnect between you, a complete disconnect. And the reverse applies too. If they've got a gentle handshake and you come in and grab them by the hand like this, once again, you start off with a complete disconnection. So, and you don't end up in a strangling match, right, if they've both got firm handshakes. But if they've got a weak handshake, don't match it completely. Just be a little bit firmer than them, but don't scare the pants off them, all right? Another one, in terms of positioning. The way they sit or the way they stand, then match them. If they're leaning back a fraction, then lean back a fraction. If they're leaning forward, then you lean forward. And by the way, if they're leaning forward, they're interested. If they rest their chin on their arm like this, maybe you could do that too. But don't match and mirror everything, because otherwise what you're doing is you're mimicking them. If you mimic them, then you're really going to upset them. I need to say the wrong word there. You're really going to upset them, all right? By the way, another thing in terms of matching is speech. If they speak softly, then you should speak a little softer than you normally do. If they speak quicker, then you should speak a little bit more quickly. And the idea is to get them to feel comfortable that they're with someone who sounds and looks like them. That's the whole point of this, right? Because then they think, I can relate to this person. Because the messages you are sending, your non-verbal messages are saying, this person's like me. Maybe I should listen to them. Maybe I can trust them. Maybe I should hear what they've got to say, etc., right? Another one, never cross your arms. Now, I know there's a couple of people who say they do this, right? They cross their arms to get attention, okay? But generally speaking, if you cross your arms, that's showing, or they're crossing their arms, that's being defensive. They're being defensive to you, right? And it really means that they are not happy with what's going on. Whatever you said, whatever it is upsetting them, okay? So don't cross your arms, okay? Another one, don't fidget. I mean, if you're at your desk, for example, don't play with your pens or with your phone, etc., like that, because that shows a sign of nervousness and also a sign of lacking in confidence. And once again, people are there hoping you may be able to help solve their problem, but they don't want to be dealing with someone who's lacking in confidence or nervous, right? And you could be nervous for all the right reasons, because really you are an introverted person and you are shy, okay? But you've got to get over that. And if you show that you are really shy and you start fiddling around with things, etc., then it doesn't matter what words you say, they're not going to believe you anyway. And by the way, speaking of phones, it's a really good idea. When you're with a prospect, treat them as if they're the centre of the darn world, right? Put your darn phone away. You don't need it, okay? For at least half an hour, right? Put it away. Put it away and focus on them. Please, that's very important. Next one, If you see someone taking up space, in other words, they're talking to you and they're not stretching, going to sleep, but if they open their arms to you and they're becoming more welcoming to you, right, like this, then that's really a good sign. It is a very good sign. But be careful, ladies. If a man's doing this to you, be careful, because sometimes that can also be a mating dance, right? Now, I'm no relationship expert here, but I do see guys who do exactly that when they're talking to ladies, right? And for those of you who are running an online business and you're a lady and you're sick to death of men who are constantly sending you marriage proposals and all that sort of stuff, right, which I heard a lot of stories about, especially on Facebook, right? If you're one of those people and you see a man doing that, then I would just sit back a fraction and be careful with this person. Maybe they're being genuine, but maybe that's the mating dance. Be careful, all right? Food for thought, all right? Next thing, your feet. Now, you don't have to look down at your feet, but check their feet out. See where they're facing. If their toes are facing you, then that's where their interest is. If their toes are facing away or their body is facing away, then they're not really, and yet they're talking to you over their shoulder like I'm talking to you right now. I can tell you that's not really where you want to be, because those people are not really interested in what you're saying. They're hoping like mad you'll finish up soon and go away, right? So you make sure that your body is facing them, your torso, and their torso is looking at you too. And if it's not, then you know you're having a problem getting engagement with them, all right? Next one, very important, very important. Stop interrupting people. This is not body language, but this is over-enthusiastic. This is people who are just can't keep their mouth shut long enough, right? Stop interrupting and talking too much, because this really shows a lack of interest in the person. And they're just wanting you to just shut up for a while, okay? Or go away. Or at least listen to them, okay? If you talk too much because if you're over-enthusiastic and you've got a script and it's working like mad for you, be careful with that. Now, one more thing. If you're talking to two people, like a husband and a wife, make sure your body is facing both of them. Be open to both of them. Even if one's doing all the talking, you make sure your body is open to both of them. This is very, very important. Face them both. Don't be facing one and cutting out the other because this one's doing all the talking. That's deadly. Okay? Face both. I can tell you if you're doing this, then this person over here that you're not facing, I can tell you, are you going to convince the other person that you are not worth doing business with? Okay? Be fair to both of them. All right. So there you go. Next time, be careful when you're talking to prospects. You could be sending the wrong message even though you're saying all the right words. All right? Be careful because you could be shouting at people without even knowing it because you're darn nervous or you're stressed out or whatever it may be. Okay. Call to action time, and thank you for sharing your time with me. Call to action time. First of all, those who aren't aware of this, I have a Facebook group called Your Next Level where we don't talk about body language, but we talk about you as a person, how you can get you to the next level in your professionalism and how to improve your business. So if you're interested, come and check it out, Your Next Level. Make sure you answer the questions, okay? Because otherwise I'm not going to accept you into the group, right? Because we want you to fit within our little tribe. And finally, I have a really good call to action. If you're interested, then send me a personal message. And I've got this thing. It's a free PDF, and it's called 6 Ways to Build Your Empathy Skills. 6 ways to build your empathy skills. If you think you need that, you need to be able to come up with better ways to create an understanding and a connection and empathy with people. You could find that pretty valuable. Okay, there you go. That's my effort for today. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with me. Thanks for the loves. Thanks for the likes. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again in the near future. Best wishes from Thailand. Take care. Bye for now.